Good day, everybody. My name is developmentally. I'm from the Open Campus, Grenada. Today I will do a presentation on developmental appropriate practices on standard 3 integration, interaction, and relationship with 3 to 5 year olds. Developmental appropriate practices. The presentation will be as follows. Developmental appropriate practices, description of the standard, a rationale for my selection, inappropriate practices that can be addressed, example of inappropriate practices, developmental appropriate practices to be considered, and activities that support these practices. Developmental appropriate practices. Developmental appropriate practices is an approach teaching grounded in the research on how young children develop and learn, and in what is known about effective learning education. Its framework is designed to promote young children's optical learning and development. Developmental appropriate practices involve teachers meeting young children where they are both as individuals and as part of a group, and helping each child meet challenging and achievable learning goals by NEYC. Standard 3. Interactions and relationships with children. The standard clearly identifies the relationship between early learners and the educators as two positive relationships where practitioners can use a variety of strategies to build positive relationships with children. Development of relationships are extremely important to children's developing acceptance, self-esteem, and higher functioning thinking skills, and contribute to positive learning life outcomes. National Quality Education 2016. Why choose interaction and relationship with children? Having a relationship and interacting with a child is the most important area to children's education. The child must be comfortable, creating an environment to help a child feel welcome and secure where learning and interactions can take place. During my weekly visit at the classroom, I have observed that there was limited interaction between teachers and children. Therefore, I saw the need to have choose this standard so that teachers can know the benefits of interacting and having a relationship with their students. Secondly, interaction and developing relationships with a child can of course make he or she open to many things, including gaining self-esteem and confidence around their peers. Additionally, caring, showing concern, love and affection towards a child will definitely make he or she feel loved and appreciated by the teacher. Inappropriate practice that needs to be addressed from ages 3 to 5 years. Inappropriate practice number 4. It is said that early childhood practitioners only interact with children in a large group. I have noticed that during classroom schedule, children are usually put in whole groups to take part in the lesson plan. I have also noticed that in the same settings, children are left behind, not getting a grasp of the concept. Inappropriate practice number 5. Early childhood practitioners demonstrate a lack of empathy for children's emotions and tend to be harsh and dismissive. During my classroom visits, a child was constantly rocking his or her chair. I have noticed that the teacher indicated that he or she should stop, but the child continues and falls. The teacher didn't show a form of concern or compassion and left the child to get up on his own. Inappropriate practice number 6. Early childhood practitioners accept children to behave or act beyond their stage of development. I have noticed that the lesson activity was too lengthy and teachers was expecting children to sit quietly and participate. Inappropriate practice number 13. Early childhood practitioners express little interest or enthusiasm when children reach developmental milestones. I have also noticed that a child who was constantly answering questions during the classroom activity was not recognized or being praised by the teacher. Inappropriate practices number 14. It is said that early childhood practitioners sit with their backs to the children and are unaware of what is taking place. Early childhood practitioners leave the children on their own for extended periods of time. I have noticed that practitioners was not present during the children's playtime. Activity support practices. Developmental appropriate practices to be considered ages 3 to 4. Appropriate practice number 4. It is said that early practitioners undertake to work with children in small groups where the best learning takes place. Appropriate practice number 5. It is said that early childhood practitioners demonstrate enjoyment and affection and knowledgeable children's feelings and elevate their fears. Early childhood practitioners understand the importance of shared emotions as a way for children to learn about and express emotions. Early childhood practitioners recognize, respect, and respond to feelings of children. Early childhood practitioners give children the opportunity to explain and express themselves and respond acknowledging children's feelings. Early childhood practitioners listen patiently and respectfully to children's ideas and views. Appropriate practice number 6. Early childhood practitioners demonstrate knowledge and understanding of children by interacting in a developmentally appropriate manner. Appropriate practice number 13. Early childhood practitioners celebrate children's milestones, for example, reading their first word, trying on their shoes, etc. Early childhood practitioners recognize these observations for sharing with families. Appropriate practice number 14. It is said that early childhood practitioners position themselves in the room so that they are able to safely monitor the children and respond to their needs, both indoors and outdoors. Activities to support practices and child development practices to support activities 3 to 5 years. Appropriate practice number 4. The practice needs practitioners to teach concepts into smaller groups. Teachers should separate the class into smaller groups to interact with children to ensure that each child grasps the concept of what is being taught. At this age, children learn best and remember best in smaller groups rather than larger ones. Appropriate practice number 5. The practices need practitioners to help children with expressing themselves and their emotions. Practitioners should encourage every child to have the opportunity to express his or herself. They should also keep a listening ear to every child's needs. Children at this age show a great deal of emotions towards people, especially their peers, and they can sometimes control and change their emotions quickly. Appropriate practice number 6. The practice needs practitioners to have the necessary knowledge on children's development. Teachers should understand that each child is different and develops differently. Teachers should rearrange the class so that each child feels a part of the classroom environment and create different activities so that a child can easily shift from one activity to the next. At this age, children's attention span are quite short and they may seem to be disruptive at times. Appropriate practice number 13. The practices needs practitioners to show interest in children's achievements. Teachers should use a form of record or antidotes to show interest in a child's development. At this age, some children's cognitive skills are developed rapidly. Appropriate practice number 14. The practice needs practitioners to overlook all students' interactions during all the classroom activities. The teachers should take an active part in engaging themselves with the children at all times. Children that age may be able to do certain things for themselves, but however, needs the supervision of an adult. Thanks for viewing my video on developmental appropriate practices. I hope you enjoyed.